welcome to episode 6 of Talking Bottom. This week it's Accident.
Hello, I'm Matt Brooks.
Hello, I'm Ange Johnson.
I'm Paul Tanter.
And together we are a bunch of...
Talking Bottom.
Well, editing the other day, we came up with a funny name for us, the Vultures of Comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Picking on the carcass of...
just not contributing anything ourselves.
So, episode 6, Accident. I've got to say, in terms of laughing out loud, when rewatching this one, laughed out loud more times than I think I had during any of the previous episodes.
Yeah, I would agree. I was laughing to myself throughout the entire first sketch, obviously, of it being Richie's birthday.
Yeah,
that's wonderful, isn't it?
Because I think, I don't know about you guys, but I quoted that on my birthday every single time since, in some way or another.
Richie's excitement about his birthday is something that it's become memes now, hasn't it? So now, this is, when it's your birthday, you get you send the "this is my birthday" picture. Also, this is the way now you sing "Happy Birthday."
Happy birthday to me, just the concept of that. It's horrid, isn't it? Like, just, if you analyse it, no one's doing it for him. So this episode starts with Eddie looking like fed up and different, like there's something else going on. He's more like...
Well, he knows what's going to happen. This is what Richie does every year.
Yeah.
That's what's great. I think it's my favourite breaking of the fourth wall is Eddie's faces down the camera in this bit. It's just so great. The Eddie sigh is what I refer to it as with my brother, and we do it all the time about anything that just exasperates us.
So obviously it's a juxtaposition as well, because him being fed up and exhausted with it all is in direct contrast to Richie in his pyjamas as well. In his pyjamas, next to a guy in a suit who's calm and bored. He's so energetic.
It's his birthday. He's got up late, hasn't he? He's loving life.
It's the excited child, isn't it? They did the same thing in the Christmas episode. He comes into Eddie's room wearing his pyjamas. The boy who's been allowed to, get up early.
Yeah. Do you think it is that? Or do you think Eddie's still up from the night before, perhaps? Still in his suit and hasn't gone to bed? Yeah. That could be it, couldn't it?
Yeah. It felt to me like this was the episode where they, as performers, had really gelled with their characters.
Yeah, definitely. I know what you mean. This episode, I would say, it feels like an episode from season 2 almost.
Yeah.
Because they've definitely nailed it now. Like,
there's no kind of second guessing of performance or anything. Rick Mayall is definitely totally 100% in the role, and so's Aid Edmondson as well. People kind of think of Rick slightly more for this episode because of his yet again manic performance and the mania that he has through the episode.
He's so lonely at the beginning of the episode, and you feel sorry for him for a little bit, don't you? You don't by the end.
Yeah.
You know he's really... He goes on a journey of it's the classic, why hasn't he got any friends?
Yeah.
There's the reason. Yeah. He's given a perfect opportunity with people coming to his birthday party, and he's so horrible. I'm skipping ahead of myself a bit there.
This episode is essentially a good microcosm for him in the rest of the show.
Yeah. It explains Richie's personality in that he's so lonely, he wants lots of friends, so much to the point that he has to write his own birthday cards and post them to himself.
Yeah,
and
they were posted as well.
I do feel sorry for him because he's posted them every year, so it's convincing to Eddie, even though he hasn't thought through the fact that Eddie will realise that it's the same people.
It's the same people, so he's, as usual, not thinking ahead enough.
Yeah, but it's heartbreaking in many ways for Richie, but then, as you say, you can't sympathise with him too much because you absolutely understand why it is that he has no friends, and you do wonder why Eddie sticks around.
It's kind of tragic and pathetic, and yet at the same time touching, that he goes through this charade for no one's benefit other than Eddie. It's to try and persuade Eddie that he's got all these friends out there.
Which he is not falling in for a second. And I love the throwaway line of, well, I've got more than you. It's only because you super glued up the letterbox. Sour grapes. There was absolutely no proof. It was, who else could it have been? Think of him passing himself up as ill after eating a whole tin of carrot and painting your face green. It's like, what would that look like? And coffee and sweating and bright green, all chipping paint everywhere.
We're back to the cartoon element, aren't we, of the images that they put in your mind. And I didn't know what an enema was when I first watched it.
Same here, had to ask my mum.
No idea what an enema meant. You knew it sounded funny, but when I did learn what enema meant, I was laughing again even harder because it's just beautiful.
How many parents had to deal with awkward conversations from that show? Mum, what's an enema? What the fuck have you been watching?
What's an enema? What's an injunction?
I think think my mum's reply to that was, "I'll tell you when you're a bit older." Actually,
said tell and not show.
Yeah, but she was letting me watch Bottom. Before we go any further, I'll just do the episode synopsis. It's Richie's birthday and he has a big party planned. Eddie's friends and all the birds Richie knows are coming. As he prepares for the party, putting up decorations, Richie falls and horribly breaks his leg. Will having his leg in plaster and being in a wheelchair ruin his party? Will it Heckers like?
Oh God, who wrote that?
Yeah, this is the
Heckers like.
This is the
How do you spell that? Heckers like.
Will it Heckers like? Yeah, but again, the Wikipedia one was about 3 pages long.
Yeah,
so too much.
Yeah, that's a bit of a spoiler, isn't it, about Richie's leg?
They often do this, but they go into a bit too much detail in the synopsis. It's a cool accident though, so something you know.
Yeah. Before we zoom ahead to the broken leg, I think we should discuss the birthday cards.
Absolutely, birthday. Fucking wonderful, so funny.
Like so many weird and obscure references.
They are. They're really weird. It's like, look, it says it here. All the lads on the Ark Royal. That's proof.
Yeah.
So the Ark Royal. What is it? It's a boat, but what's it famous for?
I think it's one of the Navy's most famous warships, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's more than one, isn't there?
So I'd imagine very professional, high-end military people, and so they wouldn't call themselves lads.
Yeah.
All the lads.
yeah.
Nice backstory thrown away here. Snuck on to impress Ethel Cardew, who got off the arresting officer.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine how unprofessional that officer was for one, while dragging away this sweaty, lying, weird man. Like, oh, you look nice. Let me kiss you.
Makes you actually think that Ethel Cardew probably is a bit of a slag, contrary to what we were discussing last week.
She did go out with him in some manner of fashion, so yeah, she has to be quite.
Do you think this was before or after the trip to France?
Well, it must have been after, because I think that was the end of it, and he was still kind of. So I don't think he was probably ever going out.
Her having it with Eddie must have been. She probably just thought they were mates, didn't she?
Yeah.
Richie was in the friend zone straight away, I would imagine.
Friend, well, not the acquaintance zone.
I wonder who Terry Hardacre is. That's a great name, isn't it?
Yeah.
What a funny guy. Madman.
Yeah. The same poem again, and you see that Eddie mouths the words along while Richie's reading it with the first clue. Well, it's the second clue, I think, because he's done the look to camera that he'd seen this all before.
But Terry Hardacre is one of the many characters that we can add to the list of people who we never see but hear about. So he gets in there with Harold, who brought the sherry round, and numerous others.
Well, Sue Carpenter gets is a second card, the third mention of her in the series, I think.
Yeah, Sue. Yeah. Good old Sue.
The card that he kisses whilst turning round.
That's a weird way, instead of moving his lips, he moves the card.
He rotates it like 180 degrees.
So what's he kissing the signature, I guess?
Yeah.
Another bit of backstory.
I love how he smells the envelope as well. It's like, because he sprayed it with perfume, He'll have done that to believe his own lies. It's all about believing in it
it's
completely.
The thing as well, isn't it? It's not just for Eddie, it's for him as well. Have a line and with more stuff going on. They took out that injunction, remember? What's happened there? What has he done? He just pestered her with fan mail or something.
How many times was he hiding in her hedge when she came home?
An injunction, that's got to be more than just sending letters, isn't it? That needs to have done something a bit bad.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, it's just funny lines for the comedy, isn't it? But you do believe that Richie is the sort who would be like hanging around outside someone's house, peering through his binoculars, and that is quite worrying in a way. I mean, the way he behaves in this episode is absolutely abhorrent, isn't it? Towards women.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, right at the end.
There's something... Yeah, when
he's
rewatching that bit...
It's my birthday, so I'm just going to do what I want. Yeah. He's got no decorum whatsoever, has he? For comedic purposes, of course.
Yeah. And then one from the entire population of Russia.
The Soviet Union, isn't it? From Comrade Richie. That's not even in keeping with his fantasies of a real classy British gentleman type. Yeah. So what's that about? That's a weird line.
I mean, I presume it's just a setup for the R's the wrong way round, and that's what Russian is. Like that. That's always been one of my favourite moments.
So what this captures very well, something that I came across once when I challenged the compulsive liar, and they turn so nasty so quickly because essentially you're attacking this world they've created for themselves, and they turn fucking nasty. And that's exactly what happens with Richie. It's like I love the God, you're weird. Aren't you?
Yeah.
The delivery of that's phenomenal.
It's amazing.
It's a strange thing to say to him. You're weird.
It gets straight in his face, isn't it? And he's just so angry, but he can't admit that he's absolutely right. He's just got to leap towards.
It's also the way it comes from nowhere. It's the way he suddenly just goes in from first gear into fifth gear with from calmness to absolute abject.
I mean that little that he does when Eddie first says, like, it's the same joke as well about Teddy. You can see that he's like, I'm not going to let this ruin my birthday. I'm going to carry on.
And then for Richie to decide this is the moment he's going to tell Eddie the one thing that he's been meaning to tell him for the last quarter of a century. To his best friend in the whole world.
Yeah, for 25
He has
years.
riled him up though, hasn't he? Like, it's his birthday and Eddie's just got to spoil it.
He's going along with it to a fair amount. I really don't fault Eddie's response at all.
I think the patience he has with Richie is incredible, isn't it, in this scene up until that point. And then what is actually quite sweet about their relationship is that once Richie does lose it with him, he backtracks, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And because he's so manic, obviously it's like, what's going to happen next? But like, it's just so sweet the way he's like, I was joking.
Yeah. I know this. How could you fake this? And the look of like in his eye, a bit of hope. Like, have I still got him? Yeah. Okay. My world's still complete.
Yeah.
I can.
His spirit's not completely crushed. And then I think this might be the only occasion where Eddie apologises, perhaps.
Yes. Are you sorry though?
Yeah.
Write it down.
Yeah. I love that.
I love the little what? That one's just that was a bit too weird for him. Like, he's normally he puts up with these things.
But then doing the thing of, okay, well, I'm going to go along with this and apologise. Yeah. Okay, but now Richie's trying to push me a little bit too far. Right, no, I'm not going to write it down 10 times. I'm going to do the smart thing.
Yeah. He's got such a smug shit-eating grin when he does that as well.
That's the childish thing, isn't it? Like of when you were at school, that you know, if you're asked to do lines, just write that down.
So I love when Eddie hands over the bit of paper with that written on.
Do you notice how much he's twitching and shaking before?
Yes.
That's like pursing
such
his lips.
A physical performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you say, when he's got the card,
he hands the bit of paper over, and you can see Richie kind of has this look of shit. He's done exactly what I told him to do.
Yeah.
Tears it in half.
Yeah.
We're so right. You're gonna have to get a new envelope now, mate.
Yeah.
You've ruined your own evidence.
I love that you're forgiven.
And then he's horrified, like, you're forgiven, and you may cancel my. What? It's like that's pushed Eddie too far.
I was going out with my real friends.
Yeah. So this Richie looks a bit hurt with that, doesn't he? Like, just for a second. Like,
of course he does. I used to say that all the time.
Real friends.
I'm going out with my real friends. So I mean, you do feel for Richie, but he's his own worst enemy. For me, Madame Swish tops it.
Yeah.
So you've had all that wonderful early dialogue.
Yeah.
And then it's, well, what's my birthday present?
You skipped ahead.
Of course.
The comb.
What's Eddie been using the comb for? What has Eddie been using that comb for?
I think he just nicked it to give to him as he was thinking ahead for
Do
the
you
birthday
think?
present.
I've been worried he's been combing his pubes or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, maybe.
Bald man with a comb.
Did you guys notice when Richie loses it from, God, this is some sort of joke, it's my birthday, after the comb? It's the only time we've ever seen Eddie kind of scared of Richie, because he's like, all right. And he looks a bit set and kind of gets a bit shifty, and I can't think of another example of that happening.
Like, oh shit, I finally pushed this guy to the edge, and I need to bring him back a little bit.
He looks genuinely quite upset with himself when he's taking the piss out of Richie later on with the mop on his head, doesn't he?
Yeah,
and then Richie's there, and then just suddenly he's like, hello Richie. Like, like, you know, he does look a little bit like that classic if you have been talking about someone, and then they're suddenly there. It's like, oh, shit, like, but I know what you mean. He looks genuinely scared of what he's going to do next if he doesn't like this next gift. Do you think he genuinely thought he'd like the comb?
Oh, didn't it? Yeah, it's a fight. Then it's a fight. That's a weird thing with his wrist.
I love that.
He puts his fingers, but he can't really demonstrate that on radio. But
it's like he's going for the punch that any Star Trek Next Generation fans will recognise as the Commander Riker punch. The only way he ever punched people, it was like with
palm?
almost like with the base of my thumb. You know, like the fat bit.
I've always found that quite funny because obviously it's a ludicrous gesture, isn't it? But I suppose that's a hard bit of your
I think it's
your wrist.
Quite effeminate and theatrical.
I think it's the thing that people do if they want to pretend that they've got some kind of martial arts training, but they don't, and it kind of gives it away that actually you don't know what you're talking about in terms of how to throw a punch or something.
Then Madame Swish comes out. It's obviously poetic license where Eddie doesn't know that Richie thinks it's okay. But like, first he was like, finally I'm gonna do it.
It's one of
What does Eddie think he means there with that.
Favourite examples of writing being, one person doesn't know what the other person's really talking about, and there's a few of those that I love from many sitcoms, but this is my favourite in Bottom, I think. You don't mind that it should be obvious to Eddie. Because Eddie's just thinking it's a horse, and Richie's so wrapped up in the fact that it's going to be him having a prostitute. You'd think that he'd realise on the, I'm going to come first, second or third. Yeah. And Richie's response to it, but it's just beautiful. It's beautiful writing.
It's classic comedic misunderstanding, isn't it? But then with such levels of escalation that the payoff is brilliant.
So brilliant, in fact, that Aid has to pause to let the audience clap.
Yeah. Oh, I've got that written down. Yeah, that always bothered me.
Oh, really?
The thing of having a pause and think.
It takes you out of the reality of it for a moment, doesn't it? Because you know that's Aid waiting.
Yeah. That horse.
But
that horse.
But watching it back last night, you just sort of, it's almost like you're watching the live stage show.
Most comedies, I mean, obviously they record them in front of live studio audiences, and you do occasionally get the instance where the actor has to pause or whatever, But Aid did make it sound or he made it look rather very natural, because he's kind of acting a bit annoyed with Richie at the time. He's able to pretend that, oh no, I can't quite get my words out. I'm a little bit fuming,
Yeah, it works. And also, I'm glad that presumably that must have been a first take, because otherwise they wouldn't have got the same reaction on the line the next time. So it's key that he didn't fluff that next bit.
You wouldn't be able to edit it as well if you cut into the second one. You'd have the laughter of the audience around it. So why they couldn't have.
The red hot tip.
I think that round of applause is well deserved, to be honest. That's such a good gag. It's such a good payoff.
Yeah. It is. Well, it's a well-deserved round of applause, but still, it took out of the realism for me. Okay. The realism of the show.
Yeah.
The very
Again,
show.
When I was little, I didn't really get it either.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I think I knew that it was obviously to do with girls. Yeah. Obviously, that Richie was thinking Madame Swish was, but I don't think I truly got what it was, and I certainly didn't understand that the red hot tip was that you had a hard on and you needed to deal with it. And he couldn't because Eddie's there.
Well, it would be a dominatrix, not a prostitute as well, with a name like Madame Swish, you think?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, although, I just assumed it was a prostitute.
Well, it's not anyway.
No, it's a horse,
Pervy name for a horse, then, isn't it?
It's a prostitute horse.
Now, the owner isn't making much on races. He substitutes his earnings by letting sad people.
It ties in with the horsewhip, doesn't it? I mean, I've never met many prostitutes. I don't know what they call themselves, but if I was one, I'd call myself Madame Swish.
Okay. Now, the way Eddie plays this. He looks genuinely upset that Richie doesn't like his present for a little while, but then he's got a bit of a smirk while he's talking about the money. So I think that's the character of Eddie acting a bit there, pretending to be upset when really he's just trying to get money out of Richie. He gets 20 quid off him, didn't he?
Obviously, it's Richie's money that he's putting the bet on, so he's not really giving him anything, has he?
20 quid out of Richie, which Richie takes out of his purse, which he has on him in his pyjamas.
Really? Okay, that's odd.
Oh, he'd have to sleep with it, otherwise Eddie would steal it, probably, I would imagine.
That's a good point.
But also, it's not a wallet, it's literally a purse.
Yeah, it's definitely one of his auntie's purses, isn't it? Or something that's been just found lying around the house.
When Eddie's gone off to do the horse bet, and Richie's putting up Christmas decoration, which I didn't notice that first time around. The Santa which pays off later, and then
there's a Christmas tree up as well.
Is there?
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
And the paper chain things as well.
Yeah, it's funny because I didn't ever really think about it either, the fact that it's his birthday, but he's looking up a fairy. I'd never really thought, why is he putting up Christmas decks? I wonder whether his birthday is around Christmas or whether it's just they've got no other decorations, so he's putting up Christmas decks.
There's no mention of Christmas in the other time, but continuity's never been their strongest point.
No.
When he looks up the angel's skirt, he looks genuinely turned on. What's he seeing?
Oh, it's so
plastic legs.
Yeah.
So pervy, isn't it? But Richie will get turned on by anything.
Am I right in remembering, or am I misremembering, that just before he looks up the angel's skirt, does he do a little look round to make sure he's still alone?
No one's watching him.
A furtive look around, even though you know you're alone in the flat.
Then Eddie comes in with a winning. How much did I win?
Pulls out the comedic wad of cash.
So that's got to be 200 quid then. 10 to 1, 20 quid.
Yeah. Although it looks like he spent that amount on booze as well, the amount he sticks down.
That's right. But he's got a wad of cash. Did we have pound notes back then still?
No, I will say that, yes, it looks like he's got more money than they actually would have won.
I wonder whether, because it was a dead set, he actually put on more money than just what Richie gave him.
He probably put his own money on it as well,
I just wanted more, and then I could just give Richie...
2 quid.
Great gag.
So happy.
Great gag of obviously Richie's just so stupid that he wouldn't figure it out.
That's a lovely bit as well.
And then,
payoff. 2 tenors.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't get one over me.
Yeah.
But it's that other pound that causes the accident.
It's so good. I mean, I love how he starts by saying, I knew today was my lucky day. Toss it over. And then you just immediately know that some horrible, horrible pitfall's going to come his way. But I would never have ever guessed that they would have such a comedy broken leg.
It's proper cartoon, isn't
it?
Yeah.
He said to himself, I'll never walk again. That's a horrid broken leg. That's no go. The knee is gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can fix a broken bone, but the knee's an intricate, delicate machine, sort of.
So what should I do to fix it, Richie? I know. I'll just grab it and start twisting it.
Twisting it left and right, like with those horrible snapping, crunching. And then when it's like, I'm going to get a better grip on it, a better vantage point or something, and he puts his foot
on his chest with that sound effect is amazing.
Like, what's meant to have happened there? That's not with the chest. I don't know. It's a weird one.
It's like a squelch, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not too dissimilar to the one in the previous episode when Richie gets the trapdoor in the face.
Yeah.
Except that more is a bit of a crunch, whereas this one is a bit of a squelch.
This sounds a familiar one.
But Rick's reactions make it.
He's so panicky. I like the bit, you'd have to take me to the toilet. Oh, you'll see my knob. That's one of his first worries he has with a broken leg.
And then obviously the classic, like if you've got a tooth that you need pulling out,
Yeah.
tie a string around it and use the door.
Are fucking awful, aren't they? First of all, he's behind him and he brings him forward like he should have turned him around. But I guess the hole that they had in the floor, but it's not a hole in the floor. You see
Rick's leg
You
underneath.
do see
you see it so clearly.
He's on like something on wheels, isn't he, to enable him to move.
So basically, if you don't even need to freeze frame it, just pay attention.
Yeah.
It snaps off. You see the cardboard bit come off the leg, and then the wheel thing, and then cut to another angle of him being violently pulled with such force into the door when he was at an angle that it should have just put. It's really weird.
I love that Rick just trusts Eddie implicitly as well. He's just like, okay, great, what,
I am absolutely not going to question this wisdom, Eddie. Yeah.
Sure. Every time it's similar to the nose hair thing, really. But okay, this doesn't seem right, but I'm going for it. We then get a very money-saving shot of an ambulance.
Yeah, I like that though. It's a bit like Police Squad, isn't it, with the light on the top?
Yeah, absolutely. It's basically just get a police light. There we go. We have an ambulance now.
Send someone down to the BBC archives. Get something that was shot for Casualty. We only need a few seconds of it. Get me a night one for later as well.
Yeah. The night one. I'm not sure. That might be the exact same shot they used for Digger.
So they come back to the flat from hospital. Richie's got his leg fully encased in plaster. He's done the singing detective nude comment. I didn't get that at the time. And then my dad was always a huge Dennis Potter fan. So not long after this, I watched the singing detective. Still didn't get it fully until they got to the... So do you guys know the singing detective?
Well, it's the bed bath scene, right?
It's not bed bath. What it is the character has psoriasis or something, some kind of skin condition. So the nurse is always constantly adding like lotion. And she adds lotion down there.
Yes.
And I think he comes.
So that was what Richie was alluding to when he pretended. Oh, and he said that as he twatted me in the head with a guinea dish. Yeah. Right in the face.
Again, a wonderful image.
It's the detail of it. Yeah. But also not twatted, twatted me.
Twatted me.
Yeah.
Does he not say twatted? I always thought in this episode it's funny because he says twat twice.
I thought he said twatted me.
So he says it in Holy. It's like, get out of this kitchen before I twat you. And I've always thought it's weird that maybe it's Christmas Day, so he's not swearing. But yeah, he definitely says, obviously there's twat 10 times, and then...
You know that twat is how they pronounce the word twat in America and Canada.
Yeah. Really annoying.
That was really weird to hear the first time I heard a Canadian woman say twat, and I was like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about, you twat?
Oh, twat, right.
Twat means penis.
No, it's a vagina.
I've always thought it meant pregnant duck.
Oh,
what?
Someone once told me that it meant pregnant duck.
Oh, I thought you were You're joking, right?
No, I genuinely thought that's what a twat was. That's what you call a pregnant duck. Genuinely, I've been told that.
You can see Paul's face now.
You look so confused.
You're both winding me up.
So when I was little, I once said, "You're a pregnant duck" to someone, and my dad told me off because I'd heard that that's what twat meant.
I see. So
I thought I was being ever so clever by saying,
like
"You're a pregnant duck," and then I got told off. But I might be completely wrong. But I think.
Matt, give me your phone so I can Google twat.
Why? What's wrong with your phone?
Just don't want to Google it on mine.
So Eddie's been trusted with Richie's care, it seems, as he just pushes him through the door like violently, like bosh.
And they're back in time for the party, which is always
30 seconds in time.
Yeah.
Right, so opening the door onto the hallway, expecting
Absolutely,
people to
that
be
again.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this is so they can then have people at the actual door, Dave Hedgehog and Spudgun at the actual door. But yeah, it always seemed a bit weird that they would open the door to the hallway and expect there to be a throng of people there.
It is, but I guess just for time.
Yeah. I mean, the landlord turned up through there, didn't he?
That's
So you
true.
wonder whether
Yeah,
they've just left the front door open.
Yeah.
The expectation that Richie has of everyone turning up bang on time.
But also,
sweet.
Richie hasn't invited anyone because he hasn't got any friends, yet he is genuinely expecting there to be a load of people there.
I reckon
You
he
wonder
did
whether
invite
he-
people. He sent things out, I reckon, just people he thinks is his friends.
The likes of Terry Hardacre, he must still have an address for or something,
Yeah.
mustn't he?
Yeah.
And just no one will have come back at all.
The guy with the sherry, was it?
Oh, Harold.
Harold
yeah.
with that sherry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so no one turns up, and of course the solution is suicide, which Eddie is happy to help him
Yeah.
with.
Nice joke as well, safety or non-safety. Then as we've said, Dave Hedgehog and Spudgun make their very first appearance in the show.
Yeah, I love the way Richie goes to the door as well with the wheelchair and everything.
Yeah.
And it's such a comedy cast, isn't it, on that
it is.
leg?
It's
a big
huge.
thing.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Like-
But it was a horrific breakage,
Yeah.
so I'd
Yeah.
imagine you would need something.
Yeah.
You'd
have
think he'd
pins in
be-
his leg, wouldn't he?
You'd think
If
it'd be
it
in
was real.
traction, yeah. You wouldn't be allowed to
Yeah.
out if that was a
Well,
genuine injury.
within in and out of the day, that sort of break. Yeah, all right, let's just plaster on a huge cast and off you go.
So he answers the door to Dave Hedgehog and Spudgun. It's their first appearance, and he's great mates. When I reviewed this for this podcast, it seemed to me that this was as dapper as they're ever going to get. I think they got scummier and dirtier as time went on.
Yeah.
Dave Hedgehog kind of looked...
got a
Christopher
suit on.
Ryan looks a bit handsome in this. He's a bit rugged, you know?
A little
Hello.
bit, yeah. I suppose
Really?
Yeah.
I think
his
they look
beard's not
grim.
as greyish
They look
and
very
stuff, yeah.
grim. I think when you've known Christopher Ryan as Mike from the Young Ones as
Yeah.
well, and then when you see him in this, you sort
Yeah.
of like,
It
wow,
was a
okay.
shock to me when I first found out. Like,
Yeah.
really? Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
He's got
But
that horrible weird jumper on it, but it's wearing a suit. It's that weird
The
old-fashioned
collar is
gentleman
covered
thing.
in dirt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you think that's what looking dapper is, Paul, I worry about...
I mean his face. I mean,
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think he's a
okay.
handsome chap.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying he isn't. I'm just saying I wouldn't have...
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not the first thing that I thought whenever I've
Of
watched...
course, next
Okay,
to Spudgun as well, I think you stand out as being a bit better dressed.
No,
Well,
what are you
and
saying about...
Well-
good old Spudgun.
And I mean to clarify slightly in that I don't mean that they look particularly smart in this episode. I mean if you compare them to their later appearances.
Okay, yeah.
Like you can see, so Stephen O'Donnell grows a beard for the later ones.
Yeah.
Christopher Ryan lets his beard grow out for the later ones
Yeah,
as well.
I think so.
And
I
they
mean, it's a
both-
party, isn't it? So they've made an effort.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, they're still finding their character, aren't they?
I love the
Yeah.
greasy hair, though, on Spudgun.
They've
Yeah.
all got greasy hair. Even like the mates from the pub, a lot of them have got greasy hair.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
something about the world that they live in.
Yeah.
Do you think they had thought about getting the young ones back together for Dave Hedgehog and Spudgun, and maybe Nigel Planner wasn't available, so they got someone else to play Spudgun?
I suspect it would have passed through their minds. So bear in mind, before this, they did Filthy Rich and Cat Flap with
With
Nigel Planer playing Harold Filthy, Dave Filthy. I can't remember.
Mike Filthy, Andy Filthy, I don't know. Something is the Filthy. Isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
So it's obvious they hadn't fallen out with him or anything like that. They get Christopher Ryan in for this. I would have assumed at some point they would have said, should we offer Nigel Planer the Spudgun role?
Maybe he turned it down. You just don't know.
Maybe. I mean, if he did, I hope it's because he was busy doing something else. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to ask.
Nothing to denigrate Stephen O'Donnell. He plays Spudgun brilliantly. But
Yeah, because I have to say, because Dave Hedgehog is very skinny, isn't he? The shape
little
of
and
Steve,
large sort of thing,
yeah,
yeah.
like works. I think if it was another skinny but taller person, it wouldn't be quite as comedic in the immediate kind of impact of Spudgun and
Yeah.
Spudgun as well. I mean, he looks like a potato, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not again, sorry, Steve O'Donnell, but he does, like the shape of him. He's just
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I
big
mean,
and
he-
round. And,
yeah.
I'm sure the actor doesn't think he looks good playing Spudgun.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But just saying, like, he suits his nickname, doesn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah, so that's a nickname or a name, because he does. It's alluded that both of them are nicknames in this episode, when it's not Dave Hedgehog.
yeah.
Is his second name.
Yeah, and then later
I've
on
always
we meet-
wondered whether Dave Hedgehog is actually having a bit of a joke with that himself, and it is just actually his surname.
I think he's just joking, isn't he? Dave Hedgehog is actually a fairly witty character, especially in this episode, you know?
Yeah.
He gets a decent amount of the laughs.
Yeah, when they do hand out the good
Yeah, he
laughs, don't
becomes
they? They're not...
dumber in later seasons,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
I wonder whether he's having a joke with Richie or not,
Yeah.
or whether it is genuinely like he will sexually assault a hedgehog if you give him the chance. That's what I assume is the thing.
Well, exactly. Cool. So I assume, Spudgun is he'd fire a bit of potato out of his willy.
That's what I've always thought.
Oh, no, I assumed it was out of his arse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
Okay.
really?
I assumed he would shove a potato halfway up there and then fart it out or something.
Oh, okay.
Wow. I've always thought he'd use the tip of his
Because you
bell
use
end
a Spudgun. Like
to stab a potato,
You stab a metal gun thing into
I've
a
seen
potato.
them, yeah.
And then you kind of scoop it out, and then so there's a little bit of potato in the.
Oh,
and then
right,
you fry
okay.
it, and it's a weird
Oh,
idea.
God.
Obviously, we'll never know what the true party trick pertaining to Spudgun's name is.
I think in my mind's eye, I kind of wish I didn't know that now. Because now I'm visualising.
Sorry, listeners.
Oh, God.
And Chopper Hitler as well.
Yeah. First and only meant this nickname, which goes nowhere.
Yeah.
They don't even call him Chopper again. They call him Eddie. They definitely don't say Chopper again.
Again, though, that's why I think it's all to do with their knobs, isn't
Yeah,
it? Like
yeah.
whatever their nicknames are.
We're assuming from this that Eddie must have a legendarily large penis.
Oh, okay.
Assuming.
Is that what you're assuming?
I'm assuming from that. I assume the nickname Chopper is referring to his dick.
Well, he can, and he can
okay.
do an impression of the Eiffel Tower, and that's quite big.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah, but that's with a Vimto bottle, isn't it? That's
Wow.
not the same thing.
I don't know what he does with it though.
What else do you think Chopper could refer to?
It's not like a motorbike thing.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
motorbike.
No,
isn't it?
I think it's a penis thing.
I think it is, but Chopper is also
Right.
a nickname for a motorbike, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Eddie does say, "Have you seen my new motorbike?" But I do think, obviously, in this episode, it's referring to his penis.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Richie's response is funny.
I would reckon that's a nickname that Eddie himself has come
Yeah.
up with. Richie is such an arsehole straight away to these people. And Eddie actually seems a bit upset there.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
A genuine thing. No, these are my friends that you said I could, like, I didn't officially take you up on the offer. It's not formal, but and then he's like, oh, I'm caught in a trap here. I'm going to have to allow them.
Richie's jealous, isn't he, that Eddie's got friends? So
Of course.
that's what one of the reasons why he sends them into the corner of the room.
Absolutely, and it's that classic thing of like, again, not to always say it's the wife and husband thing, but like Richie sort of wants Eddie to all to himself, I would say.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
doesn't really
Because
want other people turning up to this
Yeah.
parties.
you're not on the A list.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
got two kind of lists.
That he hasn't
half invited.
Half invited, exactly. If they're not his friends, he doesn't want them there at his birthday. And I don't know if that's something that people are a bit like, because actually, I don't know if I'd say this, but my ex-boyfriend was not happy when I had loads of friends turn up to his birthday party once, and not as many of his turned up.
Well, he should have
Really
been
not
grateful.
happy.
Yeah.
Oh well.
It's
Like-
still meat in the room, isn't it?
If you haven't got many friends, you need to bulk the numbers out somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, you know.
So Richie sends them to the corner of the room and then goes to the front door to anticipate the arrival of all of the fictitious friends who aren't going to come.
That sets up him pissing in the jar.
Yeah. While Rick Mail is in the hallway, he's suddenly gone really sweaty. Now, bearing in mind that on TV shows they have a makeup artist who's there on hand to make sure that you look camera ready, do you think the sweat is on purpose at this point?
Yeah,
I know
think
that
so.
I know that later on Eddie references him being sweaty when he puts the mop on his head. But
I always wonder whether that's an ad lib though, because of how sweaty Rick does get.
Yeah.
Lee Evans is another one for that, isn't he? Remember?
Yeah.
He's
He
like
got-
being a white
yeah.
shirt that
Yeah.
would be see-through by the
In
end.
the stage shows, Rick is definitely pouring with
gets
sweat,
very
isn't he?
sweaty. So I wondered if it was possibly that Rick Mail got really hot because he had the cast on his leg, and eventually he just said, "Stop! I'll work with it. We'll say that Richie's sweaty today or something like that."
And it is a very physical performance that he's done throughout the episode, and the studio lights and everything. But you're right, it's one episode where you notice it. I don't know if you notice it as much in other episodes.
Not really. And bearing in mind that he only really starts to get sweaty once he's in the cast and he's sitting down. So I don't know, maybe it's the exertion of having to move himself around in the wheelchair.
It's something you're not really used to. It's a lot of work.
It's a fun novelty for about the first 20 minutes. Yeah.
I don't know how many retakes they would have had to have done as well. And he's doing a lot of shouting and bawling.
Yeah.
And,
So he's talking to the imaginary guest. Well, the thing that I always found odd when he's like, it said on the invite, no jeans. He's wearing jeans.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's totally and utterly mad.
That shows how childish he is when he's like, I'd rather play with Eddie and his great mates.
Yeah. So lonely, isn't he? And then he has to make it so that it's his decision to have them there. That's what he's got to fool himself into, isn't it? It's like, oh, actually, I'm going to tell everyone else to go away because, it's just like, happy birthday to me.
When he's sending away the fictitious people, is this the first reference of Valerie Singleton? Or,
Yeah. What's the other one then?
She's a newsreader again, isn't
Yeah.
she?
Yes. And I love it's so musical that, well, I don't care if you are Valerie Singleton in the nude.
Yeah.
Bugger off.
What is that? Hello? Yeah. Well, I don't. So she said, I'm Valerie Singleton in the nude.
Yeah, it's totally brilliant.
Naked.
It's always newsreaders, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
female newsreaders.
Because they don't have porn.
But
I
it's
think.
funnier though, isn't it, to just
Yeah.
have women that aren't necessarily sex symbols that they're referencing throughout. Like that's what makes it.
Maura Stewart gets a reference in the third series, doesn't she?
Yeah, I mean Sue Carpenter is as well, isn't
That's
she?
the main one, yeah. What other episode is Valerie Singleton mentioned in then?
I can't remember, but I swear she's mentioned in another one.
I love the bit where he comes in. I fixed it so you don't have to stay in the corner anymore. It's like, what, it was you that made it.
Yeah.
happen.
And then there's the great.
I don't know if you heard it all.
Like, yeah, it's so sweet, really, isn't it? That he's sort of like, come on out of the corner, like, and then he's trying to be like really nice to them, and it's just
it was
so cringe.
phony. It was mate. Yeah.
How many times have you said like great mates and stuff on the basis of this episode? Like, we really are the guys, aren't we?
What a great time we're having.
Tell me about the giveaway sign. Tells him the story. I'm going to nod really knowledgeably.
Yeah.
And then, oh no, wait, I must have missed the joke.
Yeah.
He drinks the piss that's by Spudgun.
But
gulps it down.
You hear the groan of the audience.
They've got
they
it first,
expect
haven't they? Yeah. Do you think it's a retake, or do you think that they've actually just preempted the joke? Because they know the piss glass is there. It's in front of Richie.
I think they preempt it because when Spudgun puts it down...
He puts it down in front of Richie.
He puts it down in front of him. I think they're expecting Richie to instantly pick it up, not knowing what it is.
Yeah.
And so, of course, it's teased out a bit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just fucking awesome, isn't it? When he drinks it and gulps it down.
And then just you could see him thinking, what is this? And
A, it's a bit warm, and then B, pulling what I assume is a pube out of his teeth.
Do you think that was a Rick Mail ad-lib as well?
Maybe.
The pube in the teeth?
I think it's an ad-lib, because also in the fluffs, there's a shot of him, he pulls it out, looks up at them, and then starts laughing, because they're laughing at him.
Yeah. I wonder whether it's in the script or not that, like Richie pulls pube out of teeth.
How's he pissed out a pube?
I assume it just fell off when he unzipped his flies or something.
I don't even want to know.
But it's so dark. It's like dark tea. It's like cider, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? It's like you need to see a doctor. So you just need to look enough like Sherry or...
presumably. Do you think like Hedgehog and Spudgun are both basically alcoholics as well?
Definitely.
Well, they handle that booze pretty well, don't they? They're drinking neat vodka by the end of it, right out the bottle.
No, I mean, the entire Sherry scene is just, again, a standout moment for me, I think, and probably for a lot of people who love this episode. It's just totally ludicrous.
Richie's mania when he's suggesting the games to play, playing Postman's Knock or Sardines.
His explanation, all the birds sit around in a vast circle.
What fucking birds?
Yeah, but a vast circles. That's like there's a lot of them, and then they all come out and snog me. That's the game. Is it? That's the game.
But then what was brilliant is obviously it's like, well, obviously we could give it a try. Like no, we won't give it a try. Like he's just in his own little fantasy world of sort of like, oh, we're great mates. Oh no, that's too far. Like. Is that, do you think, a sign that Richie's just overexcited, or do you think he is actually bi-curious?
No, he's overexcited, I think.
Yeah, he's overexcited. Yeah, he suggests it, not realising exactly who the audience is.
Yeah.
Then it hits him, and that's when he does the brilliant, no, we won't give it a try.
Yeah. But do you think he's just after any human contact? It's that desperate thing, isn't it?
The gas man, the idea of that, isn't he?
Yeah, because he's not gay. It's like, I've never done it with a bloke, all that kind of thing that they allude to throughout the series. But he's also never done it with a bird. So he just would be desperate for any kind of sexual experience, wouldn't he?
Okay, let's have a break there and a quick word from our sponsors.
It's looking so dirty. What are we going to do?
Jif Micro Liquid, where are you?
I'm Jif Micro Liquid. Okay, I'm small, but I've got micro power. With one tiny capful, I clean and dry to a brighter shine. That's micro power. See what I mean?
Jif Micro Liquid, where are you?
Coming. He outshines ordinary liquids.
I've thought about this, and do you think he's actually a little bit like Rick from the Young Ones in this? In the episode, really, but it's certainly in this scene. It's very much hands up who likes me, isn't it? And he's overexcited.
His childish ways coming through. I found a comparison as well when he's waiting at the door. I thought of the Oil episode when he's trying to sell tickets to a benefit concert. Remember that? And he's like tickets, I want some tickets. Oh, they're probably all stuck in the queue or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's just obviously Rick Mayall's wonderful kind of like I'm very lonely kind of person, Eddie, and all that. But I think specifically when he's talking, I suppose like he's back talking to Mike, isn't he? Really, and then Spudgun. So it's that thing of him trying to impress them and trying to be like really really excited about it and like please like me. It's the please like me thing, isn't it? Which is obviously what Rick was all about.
It reminds me of the kid who have the football.
Yeah.
Then if things aren't going his way, like, well, no, I'm taking the football and going home.
Yeah.
No, I have to be in charge. I have to be the main one.
Yeah.
And that's kind of his and Eddie's relationship, isn't it? Richie has the football, so therefore Eddie sticks around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very good analogy. What about sardines?
And also, it's just hide and seek. Why does he call it sardines?
Yeah.
Well, no, because then you snog with them.
Yeah, but they don't.
That's the point of sardines, though, isn't it? That you hide with them. Because in hide and seek, you find them and that's ha ha ha, I found you. Whereas sardines is a bit more pervy.
So, essentially,
especially if you're playing with your uncle.
So what you actually...
So Richie gets them to carry him upstairs whilst saying, isn't it lovely here in the cellar?
While going up the stairs.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, just the idea of him thinking this will work.
Yeah,
like, can't look.
This will fool them. Yeah.
Well, just the fact that he first asked Eddie to hide him.
Yeah, that's like, you're on my side, you'll keep it a secret.
And then that it's a secret, like, just tell them to keep their eyes closed.
Yeah. Also, Dave Hedgehog fumbling for the door handle and everything, like, he replays that up.
Yeah, well, I love how they drop their glasses as well. And how Rick slaps Hedgehog, like, keep your eyes closed. I know we're great mates, but we've got to do things properly and all that.
It's weird how the moment in a comedy show that people have to close their eyes, they instantly lose all bearing of everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold my glass out at face height and let go, expecting the table to be there.
Yeah, weirdness. And there's some weird shots when he's going up the stairs. You don't normally see that sort of angle in the flat, do you?
Yeah, I'm assuming it was based on the limitations of the set. You've got to fit the camera guy in there, then 4 actors plus a wheelchair and stuff as well. Yeah.
It looks genuinely precarious when they're trying to like get Richie up and over.
You don't pay close attention to it, but you see Eddie fall down the stairs like right over the... That's a huge fall. Like he'd have died.
Well, there must have been a crash mat there.
Yeah, of course, but they don't play it up at all, do they?
I assume that the set for upstairs isn't actually upstairs.
Yeah, of course.
When he goes over the banister, he's only falling onto the floor.
He flips, he proper flips over, doesn't he?
Great comedy fall.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't play up a big crash, bang. It's just then he's just rubbing himself.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
it's real throwaway.
Yeah, he doesn't come downstairs kind of like, with a cut on his face or anything like that.
No, he's just kind of rubbing himself, isn't he? Like where he's fallen. But that's another thing. I think Aid actually underplays a lot of stuff, doesn't he? Whereas Rick always overplays. Aid does some wonderful physical comedy as well. Eddie is much more calm and just sort of takes it. I mean, he's drunk, isn't he? So he just kind of takes it in his stride.
Sure, he's not that drunk yet, though.
Anytime he falls over, are you saying it's like when a baby is dropped out of a window? Because they're relaxed, they tend to survive.
Yeah, I think that must be what it is.
That common expression, when a baby is dropped out of a window.
When that happens every day.
You know what I mean? Like, if a baby falls...
Out of a window?
Well, no, I've never thrown a baby out of a window, obviously.
Because they aren't bracing themselves for the fall.
When you fall in skiing, isn't it? As it go limp. It's that sort of thing.
Because I think everyone notices Rick's much more so than you do
really
notice
good flip,
Eddie's.
a similar sort of flip to when he gets punched off the roof in the previous episode with legs right up in the air.
Yeah. So Spudgun, Dave Hedgehog and Eddie settle down to an evening of drinking and watching Open University, which is a very of its time reference.
War and Peace.
First of all, it's War and Peace.
Oh, yes.
That's I've mentioned quite a lot. So the gag is it's a long a long film. And then the TV goes off, and then Emmerdale Farm compilation. What do you think he's made that himself? He's just videoed a bunch of random episodes.
Definitely.
He's been recording. He's done himself a sizzle reel, a highlight reel.
Yeah.
Do you think? Oh, I mean, they did used to bring out those kind of crap soap opera videos, though, didn't they? I remember my mate had the neighbours' weddings.
But weren't the soap videos generally when they'd do an event or something?
When they go on holiday or something.
Hey, it's Coronation Street on a cruise ship.
Yeah. They'd have special episodes. So the fact that Eddie says compilation it implies that he's done it himself.
Yeah. I love his fury at the extra. So unreasonably angry.
Just because he's drinking.
Yeah, drinking for free. That couldn't be more angry at someone when he essentially drinks all the time as well.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
Well, he's got to pay for it, hasn't he?
He doesn't really. He nicks the money off of Richie.
But no, what I love is, though, that obviously extras wouldn't be drinking real alcohol.
No.
So his anger's completely unfounded.
No idea of how it works.
They fill his pockets with money. It's not a real pub.
But he's completely fooled by the fact he thinks that the wool pack is genuine, even though he knows it's an extra. Yeah. But yeah.
Do you think he thinks Emmerdale Farm is a documentary rather than a drama show?
No, I don't know. I mean, he obviously knows it's make-believe in a way, but he's just completely convinced that this guy's getting paid to drink all day, every day. And then, again, mentioning, I think Julia Somerville is also another newsreader, isn't she? Because obviously then it's like, I've done it with her.
Yeah.
Done what?
Watch the news.
Why is that something worth mentioning? I watched the news with her.
Yeah.
What do you mean with her? I watched it while she was on.
Yeah. Well, also, what? Were you sat next to her watching the news?
They're drunk enough not to care as much when he's broken his other leg.
Oh God, that fall as well, like the entire lead up to it. It's like, oh, he won't come downstairs without our help, kind of thing. And then
the shot of him coming down the stairs, it looks like he's on a fucking slalom or something. The speed he comes down, and that is Rick Mail. I paused it and I was like, yeah, that's definitely him.
Yeah.
Comes through the door, and then of course, what do your best friends in the whole world come and do? Stand at the door and laugh at you,
laughing and pointing.
Yeah, I love that they're pointing at him. And then, of course, ends up with him being thrown up on as well. Just the indignity of it.
Well, and just the fact the other leg's gone the exact same way as well.
Yeah, exactly. Complete mirror of it, yeah. And then it cuts to a little bit later with Eddie in the flat with a bunch of people from the pub. And he's recounting the story, but in like the fucking worst way possible. Like, he just starts... Right, he's mid-conversation, they're all laughing, and then he said, and then he fell off the ladder and broke his leg. So what were they laughing at already?
Yeah.
And then he broke his other leg, and he fell over and broke his other leg. It's like, he missed loads of story out there. It's a really bad retelling of it.
I'd never thought of that.
Yeah, and they're all hanging on his every word. It's just a really shit story.
It's got to be just for the brevity of it, hasn't it? And just if they all know and hate Richie, then you would just laugh at the fact that he's broken his leg. But
So, by the way, all these people from the pub. Now I'm assuming this is the same night, right? Now Eddie and Dave Hedgehog watch TV through the night to the point when opening.
I actually would question whether it's the next day.
Do you think?
But it's meant to feel like it's the same night, isn't it? Because, but you would think that basically they took him back to A&E, they left him there all day, and he's needed, obviously the other cast going on.
Right, is it, okay,
so it'd be like they went the pub and then they've come back to the flat again. So I would say it must be the next night, wouldn't it? Because I mean,
it's a mistake otherwise.
It was it was so late on the telly that they had the woman with the little clipboard, the chalkboard,
though, isn't he? So it must be the same day, or he's just hit his head as well, and he's delirious.
They went and got people out of the pub that was open at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's weird.
Down the road.
And also, what a weird way of phrasing it. Hey, do you want to come back to ours for a bit of a drink and a dance?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
no, but you do have a load of free booze, so I would.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Just stand in the background and only a couple of you talk.
Yeah, no, I've never thought that actually. Yeah, that's probably just, I mean, poetic license. It's the same night, but it actually in real terms wouldn't be, would it?
Yeah, because the TV has stopped.
Yeah,
and you hear the noise. So it's
which again they do in the young ones, don't they? That sort of
dot
about
the little dot.
Yeah.
So Richie gets back and is very brave in terms of all the people that he's attacking.
Well,
it's his birthday.
Yeah, he's invincible. You missed out Eddie's brilliant impression.
Yeah.
I love the mop head.
Do you reckon this sweat was ad-libbed?
I think so. I think it was.
I think it is just something they've noticed as they've been filming.
I think it was Aid having a little pop at Rick, sort of like a bit more sweat,
Because Richie was so sweaty in this episode, I think he added that line at the last minute, I reckon.
Okay.
But yeah, I just love how Richie wheels himself in. How's he got up the stairs to the flat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. With 2 broken legs this time as well. It's even weirder.
Again, the matching comedy cast as well.
And everyone looks so dated in their outfits. They look so tacky.
Everyone looks kind of ill in that party.
They've got, as I said before, they've got greasy hair as well.
Yeah, Mark Williams looks like he's just stepped out of like a fucking cancer ward or something in that episode.
Blimey.
Yeah. So Mark Williams is from Far Show fame and various other things. He's
Peterson.
In Harry Potter.
Peterson in Red Dwarf.
Yeah.
Peterson, yeah, okay.
More recently, Harry Potter and Father Brown as well, the BBC show.
Lots of things. But so he's playing meathead guy in this. He's even worse than with Spudgun and Dave Hedgehog.
Oh, yeah.
Straight away. Okay, everyone, right. Everybody shut up.
Yeah, pulling the plug out of the radio.
That's the noise of Fun's over.
The way he claps as well.
Right, everyone. Hi, Bird, he says to someone. What does he think charades are? let's play birthday charades.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
birds, get your blouses
Yeah.
off.
Get your blouse off, and then goes on to basically assault someone in
Yeah.
a slightly uncomfortable
It
manner.
is a bit uncomfortable when you watch, like, in the context of #MeToo and everything
Yeah,
that we have
yeah.
now. But again, you just know that Richie's awful and he is going to get his comeuppance
Yeah.
I
for
love
his behaviour.
Yeah, should we order the ambulance now?
Yeah,
You can see
like-
it's leading somewhere. It's not going to.
You know, he's never allowed to get away with it.
I love the don't you know who I am? Well, you're obviously some kind of arsehole. aren't you?
Yeah, which is what everybody would think of
Yeah.
Richie if they just came across it.
Birthday boy.
Which leads to the bumps.
Yeah.
And once again, ending on a
Great.
tremendous act of violence.
Great crescendo to that, isn't it? Because Richie's like,
Yeah,
thinks that they're
it's happy
celebrating
for a
him for
second,
almost
How old
half
are
a
you?
second.
How
Yeah,
old are you? 2?
Yeah, no, 1.
and then he realizes. Yeah,
And the look of pain on Rick Mail's
Well, they're
face.
shattered, aren't they? It's like the legs smash.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, they snap it. That is definitely like if he could have walked again. No, it's breaking a broken leg essentially, isn't it?
yeah.
It's-
No,
oh
that's
my
it. He'd
God.
be paralysed for life. I think
Yeah.
if it was a genuine. Both of his legs had basically snapped off.
Yeah.
There would be no saving them. I think.
Is that
Pain.
the first one? Or it's only Richie being attacked in this series, and well, for all of it then. I think so.
I think we've questioned this a couple of
Eddie
times
gets it
now.
more on the first series.
Eddie definitely gets it
Yeah.
more.
Let's go through them then. First one, Eddie gets punched.
Yeah.
Second one, Eddie gets
They
kicked in
both.
the bollocks.
Well, no, the second one's
Oh,
gas.
the second one's both of them.
So it's Rottweiler on both of them.
Okay, sure. Third one is
Contest, so it's Richie punches Eddie again. Yeah.
So far, Richie's not got one on his own.
Yeah.
Sup, Richie punches Eddie off the roof.
Yep,
Yep.
there you are. And Apocalypse Eddie in the bollocks. So yeah, it's the only time Richie gets it on his own in this season. I'm not sure if he gets some other ones. Might do.
Well, the amount of pain he goes through certainly makes up for lacking it elsewhere, doesn't it?
The crunch, snapping noises of the legs as he hits
Because
them.
again, like, I didn't know what the bumps was
Oh, I know.
prior to watching this.
Oh,
Like,
right, yeah.
Is the bumps just throwing you up in the air
Yeah.
however many times
Yeah.
that you've?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
But
like,
but in a
Well,
friendly
it shouldn't
fun.
hurt, should it? It
No.
should be a fun thing.
So it's
Yeah.
it's a friendly
Not
thing.
meant to throw them up to the ceiling.
Yeah,
So
okay.
like, you know, if you've got a dozen friends, they throw you up in the air, but because there's a dozen of them, they'll catch you every time you come down.
So do you think they caught Richie on the way down?
Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? If they catch
Got
him,
a broken
it's not
spine
gonna
as
be
well.
less painful. There's the legs coming. Yeah.
Once he landed on the floor, some of them probably started kicking his head in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they did ask how old are you?
Yeah.
So if they're only going to do one,
Yeah.
what's the point? So yeah, maybe the 12 snapped legs screaming, right? And another one.
Do you think the party then carried on around him?
Oh God, we're all accessories to this horrible crime of paralysing a man in a wheelchair.
It won't surprise anyone to know that most of the sounds from this episode were leg break related.
Yes.
A lot of leg twisting, crunching. But for me,
Squelch of
the squelch
chest.
of Eddie's foot on Richie's chest is
Okay.
probably my favourite one.
So unnecessary,
with
isn't it?
with a close second for the bollock flicking.
Yeah, bollock flick for me. And I'm surprised they didn't do more of one for the pinch.
Yeah.
There isn't, is
yeah.
there? It's just
No,
you
it's-
just
yeah.
see like in
Yeah.
Rick's face like how much he's enjoying that, and Mark Williams definitely plays it very, very well. The patience he's losing. Right, is it quiz time?
I think it's quiz time. So I'm quizmaster this week. Guys, what kind of farts are you going to be using this week?
I'm gonna go for airy fart, which sounds like this.
And I'm going with wet fart.
Brilliant. Nice
You'll be able to
There's a nice
differentiate
follow-through
between
there,
them,
isn't
Paul.
it? That's that he shit himself.
They're both very nice and distinct. It does
They are.
sound like he shit
Yeah.
himself.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
wet fart. I don't know.
The scores at the moment, I believe, are Angela, you're on 2. I've got 2 wins as well. And Matt, you're on 1.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the not
You're bringing
the
up-
lead.
they're bringing
What's
up the
other-
rear.
What's the other word apart from lead?
You're losing.
No, not that strong, but
You're basically this is your chance to even the score.
yeah.
Or it's
fail
my
miserably.
chance to get ahead.
Yeah.
And I don't want any complaints about the quality of all relevance of my questions.
Well,
we-
the relevance is
Yeah.
definitely going to be questioned.
No. You're not immune for criticism. If they're shit, we'll tell you.
Okay, all right. Question number 1.
There are no wrong answers,
That's all
just stupid questions. Right, go on.
Fingers on buzzers. Wayne Michaels is the actor who has his balls flicked by Richie in this episode. Now, he is actually mainly a stuntman. Which very famous Bond film stunt did he do?
Okay, I'm gonna go with the ski jump with the parachute with Union Jack.
That's incorrect. And
Oh, wow.
do you want to try and take it? Bear in mind,
Am I going to have to steal on something that isn't in any way related to Bottom? Is that what you're asking?
Wayne Michaels was the actor in Bottom who had his balls flicked. I think it's related to Bottom.
It's tenuous
It's-
at best,
yeah.
though, isn't it? can't say that I know my James Bonds all that well. Was it something to do with the underwater car or something?
No.
No.
Okay.
What was it, Paul?
All right. He was the actor or stuntman rather who did the.
Was he the cat?
He did the bungee jump at the beginning of Goldeneye.
Goldeneye, yes.
Yeah.
I would have guessed it would be a 90s one, actually, if anything.
Yeah, it makes
But
more sense.
Never mind.
It would have made more sense for you guys to have thought
What's
that
he
way.
better known for?
I'll always know as the guy who has his bollocks flicked.
Which was the hardest stunt to pull off,
Yeah.
having your bollocks flicked by
He
Rick.
actually had his bollocks flicked where he didn't actually bungee jump off of a dam. That's not correct, is it? He did bungee jump off. You're looking at me like an idiot.
Who's the idiot? Who knows? But anyway, can we have a bottom question?
What brand of beer does Eddie drink while Richie explains sardines? That would be Angela.
I believe it's Heineken.
That's correct. Question number 3. When Richie slams into the door after Eddie ties his broken leg to it, what falls off and smashes on his head? I think Matt beat you there.
That little China Santa face.
Yes. I think it was,
I think
like
it's
a
porcelain.
It's glass and it smashes.
I'll take breakable Santa. Yeah. Okay, question number 4. How many people does Richie estimate must be at his party? I think Ange beat you to that one, Matt.
20 to 30.
Oh no, that's incorrect.
Oh, hang on. Are you saying who he invited, or are you saying who's at the party?
Who's at the party?
Oh, that's 12.
Yeah, it is 12, but I feel like...
I misunderstood your initial question
what a
about
shame for
the
you.
party.
What a shame for you.
But I just said...
Really, I think that's a no, right?
I just didn't understand which party you were on about.
That's your fault.
You've both placed me in a rather invidious position now. Matt,
Come on, I got the answer right once I understood the question. I could have said, can you repeat the
Well,
question?
you've said it now, so what Paul's going to say, what would you have said? And I'm going to say 12.
Would you have got the answer correct?
Yeah, I think I would have. Yeah.
What do you guys want to do?
Well,
What do you guys want to do?
I'm not going to fight for the
Alright.
point because I can't. Yeah.
Okay, that's a point to Angela.
What?
You said you're not going to fight for the point.
No, I mean, I wouldn't fight for me to win the point, but I think that's a non.
So hard being Quizmaster Paul.
It is.
I've got to fight for every advantage I can get.
Okay,
mate.
all right. I'm going to say Angela, because you initially gave the incorrect answer, I'm not going to give you the point. Okay,
It's
so no,
not incorrect, though.
you said 20 to 30. Next question. Richie says he can't get to Kempton by 3:30.
Sorry, I farted too soon. Sorry.
Okay. Richie says he can't get to Kempton by 3:30. According to Google Maps, how far is Hammersmith from Kempton
Oh,
Park?
fuck off. That's ridiculous.
No, I will take.
All
I
right. Okay.
will take a mileage from each of you, and whoever is nearest will get the point.
Right. Okay. Mileage from where? Sorry.
From Hammersmith to Kempton.
To Kempton Park Racecourse.
I buzzed first, so I've got to guess first. 9.
Angela's going with 9.
I'm
Matt.
going with 10.
Matt wins it. It's 11.4 miles.
Unbelievable.
Sorry.
That was right. It's bottom related. More geography related.
Yeah.
Anyway, have you noticed both the famous horses? They're 3:30, isn't it? They're at the same time. 3:30
Okay.
for Sag Ken as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is actually. Yeah. All right. Okay. Question number 6. For how many years has Richie been sending the Ark Royal? That's Matt.
Ark Royal.
The Ark Royal card to
The
himself.
Ark Royal card. That's 12 years.
That's incorrect. Angela
I would say 7.
is the right answer.
Damn it!
That's 2 each.
So there are different amounts as well. He hasn't been sending all the cards for the same amount. It does,
Yeah.
So that's yeah.
Spudgun has the logo of which oil and gas company sewn onto the front of his sleeveless jacket?
So I'm gonna go with Shell.
Is the correct answer.
Ooh, well spotted.
Yeah, you can see it. It's on his left side, big yellow thing. Okay, so that's Matt is currently on 3. Angela, you are on 2. David Lloyd is the actor who played one of the party goers. He was also in the show Maid Marian and Her Merry Men. What was his character's name in that show?
Oh my god, ridiculous. This isn't about bottom.
I'm gonna go with Little John.
That's incorrect.
He's one of the guards, isn't
He
he?
was one of the 2 guards, and they both had names beginning with the same letter.
Oh, they did, didn't they?
Yeah. See, you're interested now, aren't you?
Well, I want to know, but it's not about bottom. I mean, I haven't revised this. I haven't revised Maid Marian.
I thought you guys
They're
might have grown
called.
up.
They're called something like. Oh, it's a comedy link, and it's like
I have no idea.
cunt and cunter. But it's not that, 'cause it's a kids show. Oh,
Tony
is it
Rob-
Spotty or
Tony
something?
Robinson really should have gone with those names.
Is it Spotty or something?
No, his character's name was Graham, and the other guy was Gary.
Oh,
Very
ridiculous!
incorrect.
Not even that funny.
Nothing like cunty or anything.
Rubbish.
Okay, question number 9.
Is this about bottom?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
What are the others about?
Oh, hang on.
What length of time does Richie think must be a new sardines world record?
4 hours?
Incorrect, I'm afraid, Matt.
So that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Angela, do you want to take this?
Is this when it's the 5 hours?
I know what I've done.
He looks
Yeah.
at his watch,
Yeah.
says a certain amount of time, and says, "This must be a new sardines record."
Oh, so that's the first one. So it's 4 hours 20 minutes.
Is the correct answer. That's 3 apiece. That's 3 apiece, and we're on to the final question. So it literally comes down to this.
So it won't be a tiebreaker unless this is a stupid question that has no answer.
Or I just, don't understand the question because it's been written in a
All right,
weird way.
I've got 2 emergency questions here, and I'm going to use the one that's definitely bottom related.
So hang on, this is 10.
Final question, hopefully. Who does Eddie confuse for Bernard Manning on the television?
Julia Somerville. No!
Is the right answer.
Oh, okay.
It is Julia Somerville.
Really?
Yeah. Is that Bernard Manning? No, it's Julia Somerville. I've done it with her.
Okay.
So that's 4 points to Matt.
Well,
Angela,
apart
I'm
from the
afraid-
point that I did get earlier.
Bullshit.
Wow, it is difficult being quizmaster. It really is.
It is.
It's a thankless task, is what it is.
It definitely is.
Do you want the?
Right, what was the other one?
would
Let's
you
hear
like-
it.
Yeah, go on, let's for fun.
Fan service.
For the sake of it, I'll give you the bonus question. What character did Christopher Ryan play in Only Fools and Horses?
Ooh.
Again, not about bottom.
I did warn you before
Yeah.
I told you the question.
But it's not even about bottom though.
No, I
Christopher Ryan is an actor in Bottom.
But that's
Yeah,
besides the
they're
point.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
That is
This
besides
the
the point.
Because they are meant to be episode specific, aren't they? These questions, and this
Yeah.
is like Rick Mail was once in.
It's not even Rick.
Yeah.
It's like literally like
what
people we've never
computer
even
game
heard of.
company did Rick Mail do adverts for?
You're
It's
just
like
both
that.
pissed off because you don't know the answer.
Nintendo. I'd know that.
If you knew the
Yeah.
answer, you guys wouldn't give a shit.
It's not. Yeah.
We
horse
do.
in that.
We're definitely
I
right.
don't- I
We're
don't know.
definitely.
I don't know.
I actually can't remember him in 94's North.
I don't know what you're annoyed about. You won.
Yeah, I'm still.
But only by
allowed to
default.
be- Yeah.
Fuck you both. Anyway,
Fuck you.
that leaves us all
Who'd he
on...
play? Who'd he play in?
He played one of the
94's
Driscoll
North?
brothers.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Yeah, the
yes.
shorter one, didn't it?
Yeah.
But we're not doing a podcast about Only Fools and Horses, are we? Or Maid Marian and Her Merry Men. Maybe that's
Or
next.
horses.
Anyway, if anyone out there agrees that Paul shouldn't be put in charge of writing questions anymore, then tweet us at Talking Bottom, Facebook us at Talking Bottom.
Wow, someone is not
Instagram.
gracious when they lose, are they?
I'm not. I'm very much competitive.
We're in the same position. It keeps it more interesting.
Does it though?
So at the end of series 1, we're all on 2 points each.
We're going to do series 2 next.
Yes.
Series 2. We're series 2. So would that count as series 2 of our podcast, or
Yeah.
Wait, so okay.
So series 2 of the podcast will be representing series 2 of Bottom.
Sure.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time.
All right, guys. Hope you had a fun time. Bye.
Bye.